All right, boys. Hope everyone's had a good week. Any dad wins or fails?
Yeah, I got one.
Let's
What
hear
you
it,
got?
man.
My wife went to her 20-week ultrasound,
Okay.
and it's official. There's no mistaking it. We're having a boy.
Oh,
So
congrats.
after Andrew's story, there's been this
Dude,
little hint of doubt after four
little
girls.
nervous. That's great.
I'm like, they said it's a boy, but nah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
great.
So that was
Nice,
officially confirmed.
How's your wife feeling?
She's feeling okay. Yeah, she's feeling okay now. So
Yeah.
that's good. The baby's been kicking. And they told us today that low voices, like dad's voices, the babies can hear and respond to.
Yeah.
Mom's voice, nothing. High-pitched voices from like little kids, those register.
Okay.
But she's like, at this stage,
So
yeah,
your
pretty much
high-pitched
the
voice
dad.
is registering with...
It's working great, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. When do kids start dancing with music? Like in the
Oh, that's
belly?
a great question. I don't know.
I
guess if it's low techno bass
Remember,
right now.
remember the '90s dancing baby thing? That was a thing. That was a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys remember the movie Look Who's Talking?
Yeah.
When they had the babies talking back and forth.
That was like before real CGI was around.
Yeah.
Just like, what is happening?
Yes, that's hilarious.
Look who's.
Well, the
And
other-
they made like a Look Who's Talking too.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a series.
Well, the other dad one I've got is I'm back from my 72 holes of golf in a 48-hour span.
So how you feeling, man?
I am... Well, let me give you guys a little bit of advice. So when you leave your wife at home, pregnant with twins, caring for two babies, or two kids rather, and on one of the days there was a Jewish school holiday. I don't know if your kids had a day off on the Tuesday. Our kids, the schools were shut, so then she was at home with both the kids. Coming back and complaining about your back hurting is just not the
You're not
smart-
getting any sympathy
No,
for that.
no.
It's not the smart move. I literally sat down or lay down on the couch and was just kind of groaning at the fact that like my back was just screaming, and it just wasn't a good thing. We like made eye
Oh,
contact.
do you have blisters on
Yeah.
your fingers because you swung your golf
Play a
club
little
too
too much-
much?
play a little too
I
much
actually
golf.
do.
Of course you do. I played the most I ever played was I played 3 days in a row.
Okay.
It was just 18 a day, never
Yeah,
like
yeah,
doubled
yeah,
up.
yeah,
3
yeah.
days in a row, and I was like my hands, like I had blisters. I had to like tape up my hands midway through the third round.
Yeah.
just because I don't play enough. But
Yeah.
you get
Yeah,
blisters. you get sore, you get,
I need a bit of a break from the good old.
Are you done for the year then, or what?
No. I'll be back.
You'll be back. All right, good.
No, I'll be
Good,
back.
good.
If the weather stays nice, I'll be
So
back.
you must have scored okay if you're coming back. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Great couple of days. But in that period before I went away, and kind of the reason for this episode is my wife went in for a checkup, and the doctors, mentioned potentially an induction date. And when they said the date, in my head, I was like, oh, we have plenty of time.
yeah.
And they said end of October, potentially. And October is pretty soon.
Yeah, that's like
A
2
week
weeks
away.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
week away is October.
Yeah. So while I was away, my wife, started scrambling to get, everything ready. I mean, everything was ready, but like
Yeah.
more so just getting the room, in good shape for the arrival of the kids. And one of the things that she has challenged me to do is to get the hospital to-go bag ready, which I'm sure you guys had at various points, and you're going to need again
Yeah,
at some
it's
point.
It's coming soon too.
But I'm going to kick it off with what makes it into the hospital to-go bag. What do you got?
It's pretty bare bones, to be honest. It's you don't really have any privacy in a hospital recovery room, let alone like any other comforts.
Yeah.
So it's typically a couple pairs of clothes, some layers, a hoodie, and some deodorant.
Yeah.
Toothbrush, and that's
That's
some,
it?
usually some snacks. I usually try to find a reason to leave. So
that's the ticket.
Depending on where the hospital is that we had our kids, it's been 2 different hospitals. One is right by Little Italy in
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Yep.
So I made an excuse to go out, and there's a couple great spots to get sandwiches and like stuff. It was literally
Keep pushing, babe. You're doing great.
Yeah, no, this is post. This is recovery. But I do remember because we've had 2 kids in February, and the one time it was like 5 below zero,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'll just walk. And I was just out there freezing like an idiot walking around. I didn't pack a good coat in my to-go bag. So.
Our first time was during COVID. You couldn't leave
okay.
the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brutal.
So they COVID tested my wife, and I was like, why is she getting COVID tested? And they said, if you test positive for COVID, they separate you from the baby. The minute the baby, I'm serious, the minute the baby would have been born. So luckily she tested negative.
That's unbelievable.
Then they test the dad, and if the dad tests positive, the dad can't be there in the delivery room, which is absurd. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's probably the most nervous we've ever been for a COVID test.
Yeah.
And I would have honestly found a way to fake it, shove it up someone else's nose and do whatever. But we weren't allowed to leave. The only thing that was open inside that hospital, because again, you have to bear in mind it was COVID, so a bunch of the other vendors weren't available.
Yeah.
The only thing that was open was Subway sandwiches. Okay, so
Meatball
my
sub,
memory
baby.
and our firstborn, it took so long. We were in the hospital for so long because the entire induction process took 30 plus hours. And we thought we were about to have a C-section. We never did. So eventually, it was a regular birth. But the whole process took a while. And then, by the time they're born, they have these weird rules about like cutoff and when you can leave the hospital, blah, 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 blah. So I counted this recently when I was talking to my wife. I, in that span, had 5 foot-long Subway sandwiches. And I don't remember pooping in that period. And I was like, how have 5 foot-long Subway sandwiches made their way in? You know, like one of those like magic acts where they're swallowing the sword?
Yeah.
It felt like that. It felt like I had swallowed that.
Great. Yeah.
And it was terrible. I also overpacked a ton.
Would you roll in a giant suitcase?
Maybe 2.
2 suitcases.
Well, they had all these things around like, you should have like a, whatever, like music for your wife. So we had like a curated playlist.
Okay.
Then there was like, I think I brought my laptop, an iPad. I brought my phone. I had like 4 or 5 different chargers. Change of clothes.
You're ready.
A book. Even though I haven't read a physical book in probably around.
But if you want to.
Yeah.
Well, you have to look smart when the doctor's coming. A fake pair of glasses to make it look like I was reading.
Look down. Yeah.
Reading the book. But it was a lot. And the second time around was just completely different. We just didn't really do much. But what about you guys?
So we had our first 18 or 17 years ago was when the hospital system was a little bit different 17 years ago. And I genuinely cannot remember. I know we had it to go back. I don't know what we put in, but all the other kids, all other 10 kids were born at home, which is a completely different experience. It's a
why did you guys choose to do that?
Our experience at the hospital was pretty rough. Like, it was not a good experience. Like, I mean, just in general, like when it's not women have always had like kids for all of time, right? We're all here because of someone had us.
Yep.
And it wasn't a medical procedure until like relatively recently, because it was always like midwives and that was typically how it was done. And so the experience that we had wasn't great, and it's a good hospital system. It wasn't bad. It was just very like sterile, very like, for a woman that's supposed to be giving birth, having like these type of lights shining on her with like 18 people she doesn't know around, being like, all right, push, whatever. And then like like one of the things, there's a couple things that like my wife's like, I do not want an episiotomy, which is the injection in the spine. No,
that's no. Wait.
Epidural.
The spinal tap. Yeah, epidural. They kept pushing the spine. The epidural, and she really didn't want it. But like, there comes a point when you're going through transition where you're just like, okay, I'll take anything to stop this pain.
Yeah.
And so like,
there's also an inflection point where if you try to go without it, they actually can't administer it because you're moving too much.
And so they dangle it over you, and they're like, if you don't do it now, you're done.
If you
don't do it now, you're done.
Yeah.
And so like, I had to like, I didn't physically touch the doctor, but I had to like get in the doctor's face and be like, listen, we put rules in place of what we want and what we didn't want. Yeah. And we are not going back on those. And my wife's sitting there going like, I don't know about this. I kind of want, like, they're making it sound really, really good. Yeah. So we had that. And then even like after the baby, the hospital was going through a major renovation. And so they had like all these beautiful birthing suites where you gave birth, you don't leave the room, all that sort of stuff. And then they had the other wing that wasn't yet done. Well, we were in the other wing that wasn't done. So we gave birth in this like sterile room with other people in the room. And then we get moved up to a post recovery room, and it's like 3 beds. Luckily we were the only person in there, with one, like the bathroom was a toilet and it had a handheld shower. Like prison bathrooms, you can like wash the whole thing down, it all drains in the middle. That's what it was. It was like just a shower handle in an all tile bathroom with a toilet in the corner. And like this, the bill was still a $30,000 bill. It was just like, it was insane. Like the pull out couch, like I pulled it out. There was like crusty underwear in like lodge.
Jeez,
everything about this trip was absolutely horrible. And so from that point on,
so that made an easy decision.
Yeah, my wife was just like, I do not want to go back.
To go to a home birth? I feel like there's a fear there.
It was terrifying the first time.
Yeah.
Terrifying. But, we had a good midwife and all that sort of stuff. And after the first one, it got to the point, out of the last 3, I delivered by myself 2 of them. There was nobody else there.
What do you mean you delivered 2 of them?
Come on.
I personally delivered 2 of them. There was nobody else there.
Who cut the cord?
Me.
You cut the cord?
Andrew Hurst, MD, baby.
Yeah. Did you have to Google it?
No, well, I've done it 8 other times prior. But no, honestly, we waited. So we had a midwife that came.
Yeah.
And so, like, we waited for a little bit of time because you're not supposed to cut the cord right away. Typically, they'll have, and I don't even know how you do that for twins. I mean, you have 2 cords, 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how they have 2 of the sack things.
Yeah, there's 2 sacks. Yeah,
okay.
2 sacks.
She'll have 2 cords. They're like bungee jumping.
Yeah.
Like bungee jumping. No, yeah. So anyway, it's been we've done home births. Not to knock a hospital birth.
Well, we've had some rough experiences too. I mean, we've been in the recovery room we had, I think, for our 3rd.
Yeah.
It was packed hospital, and so they put us in. It was a little bigger than a maintenance closet, and the control for the temperature only went up or down. So you would put it on cold, and it would continue to get cold until it was absolutely freezing. And then you'd put it on hot, and it would just keep getting hot until it was a sauna. Yeah. So literally for 2.5 days, I had to go every time it was, and like switch it to low. And of course, no one could fix it. And it's just odd too. I think because of insurance, like all the stuff they have to do for the baby, they come in the middle of the night. They just kick the door open like every 2 hours.
Especially the lactation consultants. Every single time.
Oh yeah.
Is she latching? Is she latching? Is she latching? She just wants to go to sleep.
Yeah,
that's
just
all she wants to do.
Yeah.
And when we were at the hospital, we did not want the baby leaving the room because they'll take him to the
I was weirdly superstitious about that.
And so they wanted to take the baby, and I was like, no, you're not. And they're like, okay. And then we had fallen asleep. And I woke up to a nurse like half carting my kid out. I had to like physically grab his whatever that tray that the kid's on, and like pull him back. And so then I had to sleep with my hand inside the I don't know if it was an incubator or whatever it was. Like keep my hand inside of it to where if they were to move it, it'd wake me up. It was like I was at war at the hospital. Yeah. And again, hospitals are fantastic. I'm not knocking anybody who has births at the hospital because I think it's in a lot of ways they're the right call. But like. It was just a war, and so they do
have their protocols that they have to do.
Yeah, they have to do it. And insurance, requires all the things.
And when you're like first 2, but then when we had our 4th too, it was like, just get us out of here as fast as possible. And with our 4th, they didn't have any rooms available. This is the major hospital in downtown Cleveland.
They had Joseph and Mary.
They had no room at the inn
available,
and so
they sent you to the Holiday Inn down the road.
Well, they had my wife had to give birth in triage, which is where they come to check you out. Yeah. So it was like could be like 8 people in there.
That's where my wife.
And they just like zip around.
It was like the triage room. It was really weird.
They just pull a little curtain around, and they're like,
"Was that your first experience?"
That was our 4th.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was our 4th. But we've had some other interesting things happen to the hospital because of my wife's doctor where we had to go to deliver. That changed after 2. The first 2 were on one hospital and the other 2 the other. But yeah, and I got chased by the cops for one of my daughters as well. So I think I've told that story before. But it's a late, like probably 11:30 p.m. In February in Cleveland, icy, slick. Right, we got about a 35-minute drive to get downtown to the hospital.
Yeah,
and there's nobody on the roads at this point. Nobody. So I'm driving, and again, this is my wife's 3rd baby, so she's like, we got to get there, Matt. Yeah. So when you get off the highway to get to this hospital, there's probably, no kidding, 25, 30 stoplights on this road. So I just start blowing the stoplights because there's nobody here. There's nobody on the road. And then when I finally get to a major intersection, we're about 4 blocks away from the hospital. I'm just like, I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm not stopping. And I just go. Well, sure enough, a cop was watching me, puts his lights on, and I'm like, I'm not stopping. I'm like, I'm close to the hospital. Yeah. Surely he'll understand like what's going on here. And so he's tailing me with his lights on, and I just keep driving. I pull into the hospital where you can drop off, throw it in park, get out of the car. He's already out with a huge beaming light on me. I have my hands up.
Yeah.
I'm going, my wife's in labor. And he's like, what? My wife is in labor. He's like, right now? I go, yes, right now. He's like, okay. And then he actually runs over and gets us a wheelchair.
That's
and like,
nice of him.
I feel like we've stumbled on something. If you get, or you think you're about to get pulled over by a cop, find the nearest hospital.
Yeah.
just
Find the nearest hospital.
Yeah.
Pull out. Park
Heart attack.
right in front. Yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly. Really, really, really straightforward.
What about you? Like, what the whole topic was, what are you packing your to-go bag?
Yeah, so
like, did you guys do like Lamaze classes and all that sort of stuff for your first kids? Did you do
we
anything
did.
like that?
Yeah, the first time we
that.
did.
We being pregnant in COVID, there were so many experiences
okay.
we couldn't do.
So you go through these classes and they like almost make it like where you're kind of nervous about like the first time like you're going to go in labor, and they're like, have you like visualized it and what you're going to do, all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And so like you kind of go in nervous, and so you pack your bag. I genuinely don't remember packing a bag.
The reason
I know we did. But
the reason I'm asking is maybe less so to ask about like what you did in the past, but like more so what should we be doing this time?
Yeah.
Because I don't know why. And again, like the experience the first time, like I said, odd. First time parents, also during COVID.
Yeah.
Changed hospitals multiple times between states, blah, blah, blah. Second time, really easy experience. Like, great. Like,
that's good. Yeah.
Like, I think I maybe shared this before. Like, when my second daughter was born, it was during the NBA finals. And it was, I think, the year the Nuggets won. And I remember the doctor came in, checked my wife. There was, I don't know, 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and was like, yeah, it looks like we're about ready to go. The game finishes, like the buzzer goes. 8 minutes later, we have a baby. And it was like, compare that to the first time where it was like 30 hours. Compare that to the first time where I didn't pack nearly enough. You weren't allowed to bring most things into the hospital. You only had a choice of one place to go and eat.
Yeah.
The second time around, I like packed so much stuff because I was like, well, this is what hospital experiences are like. Like I had multiple pairs of clothes, multiple things for like my wife, a ton of like electronic stuff and all and all that as well.
Yeah.
This time around, like with twins, I'm a little bit nervous about like if there's a longer hospital stay. I don't know if everything gets like extended by two.
I don't know. You should be able to ask your doctor. That's a good point.
I think it depends on the health of the kids, and like if they're checking all the boxes, and if you ask them too, like, hey, we want to get out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah.
They'll typically look at it, and if everything looks good, especially when it's not your first kid, because it's like we found even showing up, I'll be like, hey guys, it's go time. And the nurse, they always go, calm down, sir. We'll put her in triage. We'll check her out. I'm always like, this ain't our first rodeo. And literally every time they send a doctor in to check her, they're like, yep, get her up. You know, it's I'm just like looking at all the nurses. I'm like, yeah, what's up?
Did any of you have an experience in that, like to go, like, and when the phrase to go makes it sound like the classic in the movies, the water breaks, you're out somewhere. Like, did you guys have an experience where you had that, where it was the water breaks and you have to suddenly go?
No, mine or ours were more my wife just being like, hey, it's time. It's been more the timed contractions for us than it was the water breaking.
Second time we were water break.
We had a water break on the couch, actually.
Ours was in the bed. And I was like, did you pee yourself?
Like, I just didn't say anything. I'm like, oh, really? My water broke too. She's like, no, like seriously, I think my water. And so I was like,
you're like,
But yeah, we had the moment.
Did any of your wives have C-sections? Because one of the things that like we're obviously nervous about this time, and again, to go bag and hospital stay, it's all sort of all one topic, but the C-section is, I think, one thing that has been thrown around a lot.
Twins, they're gonna probably try to.
I think it's a 50-50 because it depends on the head down.
Breech.
All that stuff. Either of your wives have C-sections?
No, actually, our kids weren't breech. So
no, we've my wife's had like breech babies, but they can like flip them and manipulate them and stuff like that. Where they can, so she's always been able to kind of get that done prior to the baby being ready, being in the chute, so to speak. So,
how's it been for you guys with the non-hospital stays where you've had kids, post your first experience where the other kids are around? Like,
dude, it's awesome.
Do you get them involved? Like, what does that look
like? We don't get them involved because it's traumatic for the kids. But, they're holding the baby, an hour, 45 minutes after the baby's, born.
But how do you set up? Like, where does your wife set up? Where
in the master, like we've always just set up in the master bedroom and just kind of like, it is it's hard to explain unless you've experienced it.
Is there like a kit you get?
Like, you do get a kit. You do
really?
get a kit. Oh, yeah, you get a
mean?
kit. There's a kit of like all the stuff you need because you need like chuck pad, like the pads that absorb blood and fluids.
Okay.
So you need tons of stuff and like you take your. It's basically like if you think of like I want to murder someone in my bed.
Okay.
And I want to be able to clean it up easily. That's what you do. So
okay,
like,
so we now know how to
shower
outrun
curtain,
the cops.
Shower curtain
Yeah.
on the bed with like, you know, then you have throwaway sheets over that.
Yeah.
You have like all sorts of crazy stuff to basically contain all the fluids and the whatever. And then, I mean, it's
so they just get the home birth kit.
Yeah, you get the home birth kit. It's pretty straightforward. And they have ice packs and all sorts of stuff like that because
how much time before and after did the midwives come?
Well, it depends. Like they'll come the whole day. Like they'll like our midwife. Sometimes she's like, I was at a house for 2 days, and the baby, the mom finally gives birth because she's in labor.
Wait, do they sleep there?
Yeah, they'll sleep. Oh, yeah,
they will.
Sleep. Yeah.
Oh.
Like especially if like we had one that was in the middle of the night. Like my wife had it, and the midwife just came from another birth, and so she caught like an hour or two of sleep at our house. She's kind of like, headed down, laid on the couch for an hour or two, and then when we were like, hey, I think she's ready, she kind of woke up and came up and did her thing. So yeah, I mean, it is extremely casual. Like it is not what like it's like I said, it's hard to explain
that's
because
the
it's
opposite
way more
of
casual.
any hospital stay.
Hospitals
are anything but casual.
That's exactly.
Formal.
Now in the UK, isn't it mostly midwifery still?
Yeah.
Like I thought it was still like
we were all four of me and my siblings, I think, were midwife.
Yeah.
Like midwife births.
That's what I thought it was. And
but you pointed to these like studio lights. That's how it feels.
It
in
is
the hospital
because they need to see it. And like to the doctor, like I get it.
Yeah.
But
can you get the mood lighting going?
because their job is like they've got one job.
Yeah.
And you're one of 20 women giving birth on that floor.
It's so impersonal as well.
It 100% is. Whereas like the midwife isn't. Like you've spent like for our midwife, we had 10 kids with her, but you'll spend time leading up to it. Where you go from meeting her, like I'll meet with her for like a 2-hour period and just talk about it, to where your wife would then be meeting with her every single week leading up to it. Like within, like at this point, she'd meet with her every single day, every single week, sometimes twice a week, kind of leading up to the actual, just to get them comfortable. And then you have you could also get like helpers, like coaches and stuff like that. So
the best part of a home birth sounds like is you probably get a decent area to rest in, because the worst part of the hospital stay, and no matter, I don't know if you did this, no matter how many pillows you bring, that small chair that you have to sleep on.
It's a chair that converts to a bed.
Yes. It's a convertible couch.
Who built this thing?
It is the stupidest contraption. I still have back pain and shoulder pain from 5 years ago.
From that, it had nothing to do with the golf
trip. Yeah.
Nothing to do with
all
the
about the hospital.
Holes, like whatever.
Also, another piece of dad advice: when you're trying to sleep on that, saying to your wife who's about to give birth that this is super uncomfortable. Also not the right
helpful.
thing. The right thing to do. But those things, terrible.
They're so bad.
They're terrible.
They are awful.
The dad is just like, oh, you have to be in here too? Okay. Here you go.
Well, I don't even understand it. Like, we're both going to be here.
They don't offer you food either.
That's the thing. I'm stealing applesauce packets from the little nurses.
Yeah, but the nurses always tell my wife, they go, the husband doesn't get food, so order a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's my wife will just order like.
Now, are you guys going to stay the whole? Are you going to stay the whole time?
It's a good question.
Because when we didn't have other kids. But like nowadays, I would never. I would just be like, "Peace. You have the baby. I'll be back in."
That's what we're trying to plan for right now. We're trying to figure out like who's going to watch the kids for a period of time, and because the second time around, I was able to pop in and out and do what I needed to with my eldest.
Yeah, but that's a super important logistics part of it, though. That's
what I'm saying. Like that is like, but other kids become way more. That's why home births are like, nothing changes.
But that's why, like, not even just like the to-go bag, but like the emergency plan of whether it's you call your
especially
sister-in-law or your pet,
because you feel stupid if your wife isn't really in labor and you've called them and you have like a false alarm. Like,
I know.
Yeah, but your wife's far enough. Like she's had more kids, but like that first kid, you're like, am I actually going? Am I not? Am I? All those types of things.
It's. The first time, so we were supposed to. So my eldest was born November 13th, and she was supposed to be born like, I don't know, towards the back end of November. Mm-hmm. And we were in Cleveland. We were working remotely at the time, and we went for a routine checkup. And at that point, dads weren't allowed to go to every appointment, and this was one of the few that I was allowed to go to. So I was like, and first time dad, I was kind of excited to go to this appointment. We go in, the guy's like, Yeah, kids not growing as much as we expected. We're going to need you to come in tonight. We had nothing. There was no to-go bag ready.
Yeah.
Like, the size of the kid meant everything was preemie. So, like, everything changed from needing, like, size 1 diapers, whatever the size was, to needing preemie diapers, preemie clothes, preemie everything.
Yeah.
So we were like, we're going to need 12 hours. And we literally had to go into, like, Target and start buying everything preemie.
To start,
because we were, like, ready. We had, like, everything ready to go. But, like, that just kind of threw, like, a huge wrench in that as well. So, like, I think that's the one thing that, like, makes us nervous this time around is just
twins is a whole different story.
Just
like, you can't expect to leave just because, like, I would assume you're going to be. Do they give you an extra helper with twins, or like?
I have no idea.
You know, like, there's that moment where, like, you're the first time you have a kid, and you're finally alone with you, your wife, and the kid in the room, and you're just like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like,
now it's what do we all do? I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so now you're like, what would you do with twins? Like, when one's crying, like, you have to figure out okay, here, hon, here's the one, feed it, I'll take it. Here's the other, I'll take. Like, that's a gymnastics that's going to be next level, man.
Yeah,
twice the fun, man.
To hear your updates.
Yeah,
it'll be like the Blair Witch Project. Okay, guys.
I just fed one. I think she's good. I'm going to try to feed another one.
You hear the crying in the background.
Looks back.
Spin your head around.
So you know what's really interesting is we were looking into this a little bit just around some like the twin logistics is when you're in the hospital, one of the things they ask you to pack in your to-go bag is an identifier for the twins. So it could be a piece of like nail polish.
That makes sense.
Like
I've heard the nail polish. Yeah, I've heard the nail polish.
Yeah. So I mean, I was gonna pack that anyway for myself. So once, just want them to see my nails.
Did you put eyeliner on your one kid?
Are you using a Dyson dry blower on her hair right now?
Actually, good one. I'm gonna write that down. That's gonna make its way into the dad bag.
No, you've seen. Do either of your kids have a lot of hair yet? Like, they'll look at them.
Oh yeah. I mean, not to be TMI, but like as soon as both my kids went out, we had different doctors every time, and every doctor went, "Whoa, that's a lot of hair." Every single time.
That's great. That's great. I had one daughter that had two daughters that had hair coming out, but not on the ultrasound. But
no, saying on the ultrasound.
No.
Sometimes you can.
Oh, you meant the ultrasound?
Yeah, because you can see it on the ultrasound, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, this has got a lot of hair." Because that's one of the things they'll understand about the maturity as well. Like, how long is the hair compared to like a typical whatever? At least that was the one thing they pointed out. How long the fingernails are. They'll look at those type of things in terms of like how ripe is the baby really versus not.
Yep.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think the average stay is in a hospital?
I feel like 3 days is your standard.
That's insurance. I think is 3 days.
Is it really?
Yeah, insurance I think requires 3 days.
And again, first baby, you're like, you're gonna make me leave after 3 days because you do feel.
The reason I asked that question is so it's 2 to 4 days. The first time, maybe not for you guys. It sounded like your experience was terrible. We were hoping it would be longer.
Oh, really?
With the first, I'm serious.
Okay. Yeah, like because you're just staring at this little kid and you're like, we were like, take this baby home.
The next morning after the experience I just said, I was like, how do I get out? How do I leave?
No, we were the opposite. I was like,
you can't.
We are.
I could see Andrew going nuts in that place. Dude, I could see him.
I was just like, what do you mean I can't?
Punching vending machines.
like you can't, or else insurance won't pay for it. I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense. So I'm like, dude, I was like trapped rat in a cage. I was furious.
You know the other scary part to it is, so you're meant to pack your car seats as well. Did you have to do that, right?
Yeah, they want to see it. They want to see you put the baby in it.
That's right. Sort of and they want to check that like it's whatever. Yeah. That walk down from the hospital room to where you've pulled the car around, and then you're trying to negotiate putting a baby in.
Yeah.
That drive back is the scariest drive back.
I agree, man. Because we had a long drive, and I'm like, should we even take the highway? Maybe we should just take the back way. It would add like 40 minutes to our drive.
Under speeding at
but
that point.
I'm just like, I think 30.
Cop pulls you over, like, what are you doing, man?
Actually, you're going 5 miles an hour.
3 days later.
And most of the time we pull people over, they pull to the side of the road, not the center of the road. Yeah. I felt like 30 miles an hour was appropriate speed.
It was also.
Now, did your wife? Did your wife sit in front with you or sit in the back with the baby?
I think the back.
I think everybody's wife sits in the back.
The back,
first, like, or who, whatever. So they sit in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. So and it was also awful weather that day. There was a storm. We drove out the hospital, and I'm not exaggerating. There was a tree that had fallen in the road, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I already was going, like you, 30 probably under the speed limit, and like shaking.
People just laying on the horn.
I think
now you're two-wheeling out of the drive. You could care
cool,
less
a tree.
now. Yeah.
I was putting on indicator lights for no reason. Like,
you're just going through all of them.
Is this guy turning? Why is there hazards on?
on.
He's flashing his lights at me.
should have had that baby on board bumper sticker, like all
that's
that.
Great. But yeah, I would say by our fourth, you're just like, and even our third, we're just like, I'm just get us out of here as fast as possible, please. As long as everything checks out.
As long as everything's okay.
But and it's funny because if you go in at 11:59 or if you go in at 12:01. It does matter because they count that. If you can get in there before midnight, then they'll count that as a day, and you'll get out a lot faster. But if you get in there after midnight, man, you're stuck.
Hey, hon, I don't mean to pressure you, but push immediately. We have 2 minutes on the clock.
Let's go.
So that was the issue with our second born is she was born at like 12:03 post midnight.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, ugh. So that, I mean, it was just whatever. It was like I say, it was such a good birth story that I couldn't really complain. What do you like eating there?
Oh, dude, it's never good.
It's never good.
I try to honestly avoid most of the food that I can because it's never good. That's my excuse to get out. Yeah. And I can get her something.
I'm really particular about like my eating habits.
You taste a little bit and just send it back?
No, I just it's awful. I actually don't understand how the doctors eat there either.
I don't know.
Because a couple of times, like, I don't know if it's racist or not, but like, I keep getting confused as a doctor.
I think you can.
I
think you can say it.
Every time I've been there, they have thought I'm a doctor.
Oh, they thought you were a doctor.
Every single time.
Dude, you should lean into that, man. Bring some scrubs. You might get some special treatment.
Hey, can I get some more food?
I should start doing rounds with people.
Yeah, seriously. Just show up. Oh,
but
man.
no, the first time, like I said, we were there so long that at one point, one doctor, you know how the doctors do shifts? So one doctor had come in and said something, Pitocin. And I was like, what on earth is Pitocin? So Googled Pitocin on my phone. By the time the next check-in happened, it was a different doctor. And the doctor was like, oh boy, it looks like we're going to have to increase the Pitocin. I was like, yeah, obviously. Like, we need to make sure she's appropriately dilated, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, wow. Are you a doctor too? And I went, instead of saying no, I went, my dad is.
Oh, come on.
And my wife was like, yeah. So the answer's no. In front of like the doctor, in front of the nurse.
You didn't want to fully commit to the no.
Kind of am.
I'm not a doctor.
Like I was raised by a doctor.
I don't even know why I didn't say no. All I said was
you're like slipping on the white coat as you're talking. My dad is a doctor.
So what we have here, doctor, is
that is great.
But my wife was just like she called me out like in front of everyone. She's obviously like hangry and tired and like all the other like
I will say
and you're trying to Doogie Howser it over here.
I think I was on my 5th subway footlong at that point.
I will say too though the especially with our first with the rotations, so my wife didn't do the epidural and literally they had other doctors coming with like 5 or 6 other people that were doing the rotation. It was like she was like an animal in the wild.
National Geographic.
Wow. She's no epidural, natural. Yeah. Wow. Like it was, they were all sitting around going, this is amazing. It was, I was like, what is this?
None of you have given birth yet. You're all like 20 years old. Like, dude, it's, guys want to do some lightning round?
Sure.
Let's do it.
The first thing I ate after leaving the hospital was, do you remember what you ate the first time?
I think we stopped at Steak and Shake.
Nice.
Or Wendy's, one of the two. It was like Wendy's or Steak and Shake.
We ate Wendy's before going in because you know how like your wife can't eat anything beyond a certain time. We smashed Wendy's. Like I remember eating Wendy's before.
I think we had Wendy's on the way out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. But
it was so freaking good. I just remember being like, "Oh man, this is so good." Because it was hot, and everything in the hospital was always like lukewarm.
Yeah. I think we had. I can't remember exactly what we ate, but my mother-in-law is the closest to us. And so she's like our call, like baby's coming. Yeah. She comes over and watches the kids and helps out. And I feel like my in-laws always get some good food. And they like when we come home, there's always like a good meal either made or grabbed from somewhere.
Better make sure your in-laws are listening to this for baby number 5.
They know. We're leaning on them hard. Okay, they know.
It was funny because like the first time you have a baby, there's a lot of like meal trains. People are like, hey, we want to help you with meals. Second time, you kind of get. Third time, dude. By the time we had like our 4th, 5th kid, people are just like, you done?
That's on, that's on you.
Yeah, exactly. That's on you.
We send like an Uber Eats voucher now.
That's a you problem. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Like, we would get like no love. Like, there'd be still some people who would do it, but it was pretty much a no love situation. So,
do you know what the most common butcher that? The first post hospital meal. Do you know what the most common one is?
Pasta.
Do you know what it is?
I'd just say maybe fast food.
It is a fast food, but do you know specifically?
Oh, okay.
Mickey D's.
It is Mickey D's. Do you want to go more specific?
I'd say double cheeseburger.
Big Mac.
It's a McDonald's breakfast sandwich.
Breakfast. Okay, but you got to be in there before 10:30. I mean, to get that right.
Yeah, listen, I don't make the questions up or the answers.
I don't like this answer.
I
reject that.
Yeah. I'm just telling you.
Although I get it.
The thing that hit me hardest once I left the hospital was,
I think the first time it was, now I'm responsible for this little person.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that we are responsible for this little person, and we have no clue what we're doing. So.
Yeah, mine's the car ride. That car ride, it hit me really. Like, I think you are so high on adrenaline and just fight or flight that when all the noise goes of like the hospital, like lights and sounds and people in your room, and you are in the car and you're trying to follow the GPS, you're like, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you go from like an adult hanging out with other adults to now, I have to be a very responsible adult because someone else is relying on me. Yeah. So,
best hospital vending machine snack. You know what I tried for the first time on this trip that I went on?
What's that?
I'd never had them before. I don't know if they're a vending machine snack as well. Lorna Doones?
Oh, Lorna Doones are awesome, dude.
Wait, are those the like the licorice?
Like the shortbread
like
type.
Shortbread cookies. They come in like a yellow pack with green, I think it's green text on it or something like that.
Someone pulled those out. I was like, what's that? They're like, Lorna Doones. I was like, never heard of them. And I tried one. I was like, this stuff is really good.
It's like, I'm a weird fan of like shortbread cookies and gingerbread cookies, like or ginger cookies. Like, none of my kids like them, but I love them for some reason. I don't know why, but like shortbread cookies and stuff like that.
I just know I heard a story. My aunt and uncle, when they had 4 kids, and when they had their 4th, my uncle was eating Funyuns, and he was right in my aunt's face, like, "Come on, you can do it." And she like smacked him or punched him or something, like, "Get out of here!" I think they should ban Funyuns from the
Funyuns from the vending machine. Yeah, that's rough.
All right, for my next hospital visit, the first thing I'll pack is has to be phone charger. What else are you gonna do?
Charger, first thing.
Well, don't take mine. Pick another one.
I'm bowing out on this question. I don't want to go to the hospital ever again.
It's like I'm out.
What have you got?
It's probably going to be food.
What are you
It's probably going to be some type of snack or bar.
What are you
something that I'm just like, that I know I like and I can eat and I can have readily available because I know I'm not going to get food without having to leave. And again, if it's the middle of the night, there's nothing open and there's no food either in the hospital. So
is it a problem that as a man, when you're at a hospital, you feel it's kind of like unkind the way they treat you?
Yes.
Like,
it is.
Yes. I'm not suggesting in any way, shape, or form that what you're doing is anywhere near the level of your wife,
right?
No.
Right.
But like, or whoever's having the baby, or your wife, or whatever it is. But it's like, why wouldn't? Is it so hard to think of like, there's typically going to be at least one other person with this, with this individual. Like, why is it so hard for you to be like, oh, maybe we should think of how to make their life not miserable?
They ignore you every chance. They talk to your wife.
They don't make eye contact with you. They act like you don't exist.
No snacks come your way. No water comes your way. They put you on that ridiculous bed with crusted underwear.
Just in general, it's like, who's thinking of like, if you came out and were just like, we're going to gear the experience, like obviously you can't change anything, but we're going to gear the whole experience to be awesome. It would cost you like $500 more per kid, and you're a hospital. It wouldn't even make a difference to you. And you could make such an incredible impact where people would not be talking like this on a podcast. Be like, no, they gave me like steak and potatoes afterwards.
Can you imagine
could you imagine?
I'm serious.
You imagine like
we can stick around for a few more days?
Like a really nice chef being like, listen, your first post whatever meal, like after the healing's done and after your wife can actually eat like a good meal,
the equivalent of like the final meal. It's like the first meal. Like
they give you like a really good meal. It's like, feels more home cooked, whatever. And it's not just
we might be onto something.
Yeah.
Like you just make it
or they
fun.
have like a little area downstairs. All the dads can watch the Browns play.
There
it's
you go.
Straightforward.
There you go. Speaking of the Browns, can we jump to the Browns?
We can jump to the Browns. Yeah, we can bypass that
because there's a lot of memes going on in Cleveland after the first 2 games of the season. Everyone was checked out.
It was rough,
and then now everyone's back on board.
We had a bunch of listeners chirp us and say that we were as a podcast over the Browns, and suddenly we were back on the bandwagon. Are we bandwagon fans now? Does that make us
No. Here's the difference. We've invested so many years into something that it's unkind of them to put a product like that out on the field. You're not a bandwagon fan. I'm always a Browns fan.
Yeah. You just expect some return.
I'm not going to waste my Saturday afternoons on a product that looks like the people on the field care less about it than I do. That's always my issue. Is like if you've got people going through the motions and you're like, why am I wasting my energy? But I'm not a fair weather fan at all. I love the Browns.
All right.
I'll just say
take that, listeners.
Yeah, take that.
I'll just say offense wins games, guys, but defense wins championships.
Defense makes you 1 and 2.
Yeah,
exactly.
Cliche there, Matt. Thanks. Appreciate it. Why don't you take us home?
Yeah. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys listening. And if you guys have some fun stuff that you've packed in your go bags, let us know. And for anyone else listening, if you're a new dad, an old dad, or you're interested in what it's like being a dad, this is the podcast for you. So subscribe, hit notifications, and thanks for listening.
Cheers.